Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we are going to be talking about trading in your car and basically my trade-in tips and tidbits, essentially. But if you aren't familiar with me, I actually worked in the car industry for about 3 years, from salesman to kind of a manager type position. But regardless of that, I learned quite a bit. And by the way, if you hear a bunch of like pitter-pattering, I guess is the best way to put it, in the background, it's because my dog's running around here and she's noisy. But regardless of that, yeah, so I learned a lot. I know quite a bit about the car industry. Do I know every little facet of it? No, there's probably some stuff that I didn't learn, but I feel like I learned a lot of the big overarching things. So that obviously is going to help me make this video series to basically hopefully help you guys just get a better deal on your next car purchase. Now, leading into the topic of trade-ins themselves, the first thing that I'm going to say about trade-ins is you need to find out what your trade-in is worth before anything else. Even before you go into the dealership, I recommend at least getting some sort of idea. And then there's going to be another thing that's going to be my first big tip to kind of spread off from there. But the first thing is just check sources, right? Here in Utah, we've got like KSL, check that. And that's not going to be necessarily trade-in value. That's going to be retail for your vehicle. But it at least gives you an idea of what they're going for in the marketplace, or what people are asking for them. That's probably a more accurate representation of what a lot of these places will be, because just because someone asks money for something doesn't mean that's what it sells for, of course. Now, check that, check third-party sources. There's KSL, there's like Car Gurus, Auto Trader, another good one like Kelley Blue Book, just good ones that kind of give you at least values of your car. And then after you've done that, then what I recommend is go to different dealerships that have different types of trade processes. Now, what I mean by this is, in this example, let's say that you have a Honda. Now, what you want to do is go to a Honda dealership and get a trade-in value. Go to just a regular used car lot, get a trade-in value. The dealership that you plan on buying from, obviously get a trade-in value from them, and then go to a car buying source. So Carvana is one that is kind of new online. Another good one that's everywhere is CarMax. And the reason you're going to do this is you're getting multiple trade-in values from multiple sources, and believe it or not, they're probably going to be different. And the reason they're going to be different is some dealerships choose to be honest, and they just give you what's called ACV, or actual cash value. That is what your trade-in is truly worth. And any dealership can find out that value. It is super simple. All they have to do is they look up auction values, they look up book values, they look up what the cars are selling for in the market. Dealerships have access to all this stuff that you as a consumer don't necessarily have access to, and so it gets them an accurate representation of what that car is worth in the market. And that money value that they determine, that's how much money they're going to put into that car. Now, that's very important because you just want to get what your car's worth. If you get above what your car's worth, then chances are, and that's, by the way, that's called over-allowing, chances are the dealership is pulling money from somewhere. They probably have markup in the car they're selling to you, so that's why they're able to give you above market value. Now, if they give you below market value, they're just making money off of your vehicle. And the way that dealerships kind of do this internally is, let's say that that same Honda that we're trading in, let's say that it's worth $10,000. The actual cash value, what that's worth in the market, is worth $10,000. If the dealership gives you $11,000, the dealership technically loses $1,000. So they have to pull that money from somewhere, and she is running in circles. I do not know why. But anyways, the dealership has to get that money from somewhere. So where are they going to get that from? Chances are they have profit on the car that they're selling you, so they're using that profit and giving up a little bit of it, which, I mean, you're technically getting a better deal, but you just want an honest deal. That's the best way to do business, is just get an honest deal. Now, the next thing is under-allowing. And how that looks internally is the dealership is profiting $1,000 because the dealership is going to put $10,000 in that car regardless. So if they under-allow on your car, let's say that they give you $9,000, the dealership just made $1,000 off of that particular car deal because they took the car in for $9,000, they paid $10,000 for it in the internal system. So they just made $1,000 on that car deal. They just basically, they pad the profit right up front. That's what most dealerships do nowadays. It's kind of a safety thing for them, because then when they go and resell the car, yes, they may not make as much money off of that particular car deal when they sell it. And I'm going to make a whole nother video about this, but it essentially gives them upfront profit where they don't have to risk losing money because they've already made it upfront instead of trying to make it down the road. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, I'm gonna make a completely dedicated video to that. But yeah, after you've gotten it from multiple sources, hopefully at least one of those sources is going to give you this actual cash value, or you have a range. Maybe you'll get from 9 to 11 grand and you know, okay, my car is worth somewhere between 9 to 11 grand. I don't know as a consumer what actual cash value is, but I know I should be getting somewhere in this range because I've gotten information from multiple dealerships, multiple car buying sources, and now I kind of have a better idea. And yes, this is going to be a little bit of legwork, but again, if you're watching this video, chances are you're someone that's trying to get the most money for your car. Now, the next thing to do with my car buying tips, or I should say my trade-in tips, be realistic about your car. Understand that if there is condition deficiencies on your car, it can obviously affect, and it should affect, the market value on it. So if your car has scratches, dings, dents, be familiar with all that kind of stuff. I would recommend before you actually bring your car in to get a trade appraisal, walk around your car. Seriously, walk around your car and pretend like you were someone that was gonna buy your car and ask yourself, would I buy my car in this condition, first and foremost? And if I was going to, what would I want that person to concede? So if your bumper's half hanging off, if you have a taillight that's out, just all these little issues with your car that obviously you're gonna wanna try to hide. I can't prevent that from happening, right? You're gonna wanna try to hide that from the dealership. Every person that trades in a car usually trades it in because it has issues. I'm very familiar with this. You're gonna wanna try to hide that from the dealership. I understand that. But still, just so you know, so that you aren't, I guess, confused when the dealership brings up these points, know everything that's wrong with your car. Hopefully you get it inspected on a regular basis, or you just take it in for maintenance on a regular basis, so you know all the mechanical stuff as well. So if your car has a check engine light, you know why it has a check engine light. Again, if there's just damage on the interior, exterior, know about it, so then when it comes up, right, it's not a shock to you, and it'll make it so the dealership won't take advantage of you, because what dealerships try to do is when they are doing an appraisal on a car, they're gonna wanna devalue your trade-in. And the way that they do this is all this stuff that hopefully you looked at and you know about, they're gonna mention that. And if you don't know about it, it might be a shock to you, so then you're gonna be like, oh shoot, my car's not worth as much, and then you're gonna let the dealership just try to nickel and dime you for everything. Maybe you have like a little scratch on the front bumper that could be buffed out for next to nothing, and the dealership's gonna be like, well, we gotta replace your whole bumper, your car's worth $500 less, right? It's little tactics that dealerships do like that to devalue your trade-in, obviously, so that they can hopefully under allow on your trade-in, so they can make some profit off of the car deal that they are trying to basically finish with you. So again, that next tip is walk around your car, know everything that's wrong with it, so then when the dealership in turn does a walk around on your car, that you're not shocked when they bring about these little issues with your car, and that it doesn't let you have this false sense that, oh yes, my car is for sure, because yes, it is worth a little bit less, but just do this so that you don't get taken advantage of by the dealership, because they're gonna try to nickel and dime you on everything. And that is the next point, is don't let the dealership nickel and dime you on everything. I understand that as a consumer, you're not gonna be an expert on how much repair costs are, but what most dealerships do with their vehicle trade-ins is they actually charge themselves full retail to repair cars. And the reason they do that is, again, if they lose this money internally, then they're still gonna be making a profit at the end of the day. Most dealerships nowadays will have a service department, especially if they're a new car dealership. And so when they get these used cars traded in, what they will do is they'll take those used cars and they do the reconditioning on them, and they'll charge themselves full retail to recondition the cars. The reason they do this is the service department makes money, the sales department pays the service department, and then obviously the cost in that car increases. So then the sales department has to sell the car for even more money, but the dealership is just doing everything it can to pad profit, right? And to basically protect themselves so that they can maximize their profits and not be in a situation where they will essentially lose money. And how this affects you as a consumer is, don't let the dealership try to give you a lower trade-in value based on full retail for repair costs. So let's say that you really do need a front bumper, right? Maybe don't trade in your car that day. Maybe go get a real estimate on how much it costs to repair a bumper. So then when the dealership tells you, oh yeah, it's gonna cost us $2 grand to fix a new bumper, your car's worth $2 grand less because it's gonna cost us $2 grand to recondition it. and then you go and wherever you go and get your car inspected, maybe they go, oh yeah, it's actually only $500 to repair this bumper. So then you can make that decision. Do I repair the bumper for $500? Or do I go back to the dealership maybe and go, hey, this bumper only costs $500 to fix. You guys can fix it for $500. If I can fix it for $500, my car's worth only $500 less, right? That would be up to you at that point. But yeah, I would be very aware of all these little things. And if you just don't know, right, and most consumers aren't going to know, go get your car inspected and see how much it is to actually fix these things on it so that you don't let the dealership try to, in essence, charge you full retail to fix your car so then they can obviously make more money off of trading your car in. It's another little thing that they do, but it's definitely something that you need to be aware of. And yeah, it might take more time, so you've got to always do the kind of cost-benefit analysis with the time that you're losing to do this. But yeah, that can save you a little bit of money when you are trading in your car. Now up to this point, right, you've gotten your car inspected by multiple sources. You know everything that's wrong with your car. You know roughly what the market value is on your car, and then also you know how much it costs to fix those things that are wrong with your car, whether wear and tear items or damage. You just know everything that it is to basically make your car 100% to where it can be sold again as a used car. Now with all this information, the next thing that you're going to do to obviously maximize your trade-in value, just really make sure that you're getting a good trade-in value, is make sure that you're getting a good deal on the car that you're buying. Now, again, I'm going to make a separate video on how to make sure that you're getting a good deal on the car that you are buying. But that's something that you need to make sure with when you're trading in a car, because again, like I said earlier in the video, dealerships might under-allow or over-allow depending on what their profit is on the car that they're selling you. So making sure that you are getting a good deal on the car that you're buying is also going to ensure that you're getting a good deal on your trade-in. Because if they're making a ton of money on the car that they're selling you, then maybe they'll give you more money for your trade-in, which you're like, yeah, but I mean, the whole point of trying to get a good car deal overall is trying to get a good car deal overall rather than getting a good car deal on your trade, but then not getting a good car deal on the rest of the stuff. So definitely make sure you're getting a good deal on the car that you're buying. And then this last part of the video is going to be the stuff that you basically don't want to do at the dealership. And the reason you don't want to do this is going to possibly ruin your relationship with the dealership that you're trying to buy from. And if you have a bad reputation, believe it or not, you want to have a good reputation with dealerships that you purchase from. If you earn yourself a bad reputation with the dealership that you're buying from, they won't want to give you a good deal. Believe it or not, the salesperson won't be on your side, the managers won't be on your side, and if they're not on your side, then they're going to try to rip you off more than anything else because they want to get back at you. And geez, she will not stop walking around. But anyways, don't withhold information on your car as much as you can to the dealership. What a lot of people end up doing is they won't tell dealerships what they want for their trade. They won't tell dealerships that they are trading something in. They won't tell dealerships other offers that they've gotten. I understand that you think that this is going to help you get a better deal on your car, but a lot of the times it hurts you because the dealership goes, oh, this person doesn't want to work with us, and because they don't want to work with us, we don't want to work with them. Let's try to rip this person off, right? And they might not literally say that, but just think of yourself as someone who owns a business, and let's say that someone comes in and wants to buy your product, and they don't want to tell you anything, right? You're going to be super frustrated, because you're going to spend way more time than you have to with them when you could be with another customer selling them a product, where instead you're spending so much time with this person because they just won't give you information. So I understand that you might want to withhold information on, maybe you know why the car has a check engine light. Maybe literally the engine's blowing up on you. I don't know. The dealership will probably figure out that stuff anyways, to be honest. They're pretty good. Most dealerships are pretty good at finding stuff out. But just give the dealership the information. And I mean, just between us, right? Be honest about it. If you're honest about it, from what I've seen time to time, is dealerships a lot of the times will end up being more aggressive and trying to get you a better deal when you do give them information, because then they understand that they have to do that to earn your business. And most of the times that I saw car deals happen, it was when people gave honest information and they got a better car deal. I'm just telling you up front completely because the dealership had to work harder to earn their business. And the reason is, if you tell them, or like if you say, hey, this person gave me this trade-in value, the dealership knows that you're lying because all the dealerships have the same information in terms of trade-in values. So if you tell them full retail, the dealership's just gonna be like, screw you. You know, they're just basically gonna, seriously, they're gonna be like, yeah, get out of here. We don't wanna do business with you, because they know that you're trying to get full retail out of your car. They know that you're lying about that, right? No dealership in the right mind is gonna give full retail for a car because then they can't sell it. What you wanna do is just tell them an honest trade-in value. In our example, again, with this Honda that we're trading in, let's say that, again, you've gotten a range between $9,000 to $11,000 and the car's worth $10,000. Just tell the dealership that. Say, hey, I've been to multiple dealerships. I've gotten offers from $9,000, $10,000 to $11,000. I'm trying to maximize my trade-in value. So if you give me the best deal on your car and you give me the best deal on the trade-in value, then I will do business with you. And maybe the dealership doesn't get you $11,000. But maybe they at least get you 10, or maybe they give you a little bit more. Maybe they give you 10,500, which again, you don't really want that because you just want to get what your car's worth. But at the end of the day, they're going to give you the most amount for your trade-in because you're not giving them a ridiculous number. You're not telling them retail on your car. But what you are telling them is the truth, and you're making them work to earn your business. And that's what you want to do to get the best deal possible, is you want them to work to earn your business. You don't want to make them frustrated. You want them to be your friend, but at the same time, you want to make sure that they know that they have to earn your business. And if they're in a situation where they have to earn your business and you're being honest and upfront about it, and you're not being just, frankly, a dick, right? People just, I just have to say it. There's so many people that would just come into the dealership that were just complete douchebags, that basically they would tell us retail for their vehicle and then they'd want all the discounts off the new vehicle, and it wasn't realistic at all. And they knew they weren't going to get that deal, but they thought that that would help them get a better deal. I can tell you right now, it didn't. What I saw that helped people get the best deal is people coming in with an honest trade-in value, what they really got from other, basically other dealerships, and then with an honest value on the car they're purchasing. And again, this will be another video, but when people were honest about both values, it amazed me. Those people got the best deals, and frankly, the dealership didn't make nearly as much money off of those people as other customers, and that's just the truth. Hopefully this helps you guys out, and I know it was a little bit of a longer video, but there is quite a bit to go over. And stay tuned, because again, I'm going to make this into a whole video series. If you happen to be stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you think. I will see all of you in the next video.